Welcome back to AFL Supercoach. I thought I'd do a quick video because time is tight at the moment for me, I'll tell you. And things become obsolete really quickly in footy world. So, got to get these things done in the pre-season because as soon as these new practice matches start, there's going to be new players to look at and everything's going to go out the window, I think. So, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, this video. The forwards and how they score in wins versus losses. Now, it's no surprise that most of them score better in wins. The vast majority. And the ones that don't seem to be the guys who don't actually play forward. They're just forwards in Supercoach. So anyway, what does that mean for us? What's the point of doing this? Well, even though they're still in a negative, we can see how much it actually does affect them because there's quite a difference. If you look at like a Max Hall down to the mystery man at the bottom, who I'm not going to name yet, who has that massive differential. So we can take this and try and predict how team performance might impact these players scoring. So, for example, I've been saying it since the start of pre-season, Sydney should improve. So, their players should have a bit of a scoring spike. And then, other teams that might slide, you might be put off that pick if you see that one of the forwards doesn't score nearly as well in losses. It's not real scientific stuff. It's pretty straightforward. So as usual with these videos, there's no sub injury or finals games included. Working on adjusted averages here that we get from DFS Australia and stuff like that. So I'll hop into it because I do want this to be a quick video. We'll start with the two positive guys. We got Sam Draper here. So that looks all right. He's going to Brisbane, so he's not going to lose too many games, you'd think. He's not one to look at to start the season because he's still injured, but obviously he could be an upgrade later. And to be honest, I made this list at the start of pre-season. So the problem with him is he's at odds here with his 2024 data, which I've included. So he's actually better off in wins than losses, but he kind of broke out last year. So I think that's what you'd want to pay attention to more. And as I said, he's not really a starting pick, so we can look at him down the track. And then there's Flanders, who had obviously the down year last year with the back problems and stuff and a bit of a loss of role at the Suns. He's very consistent. That's very close to being equal, really. And that's what you want from a player that's gone to a team that's probably going to be mid-table. So St Kilda, I think it's fair to say, they're going to be around that, that mid-table position there, give or take. And Flanders looks to be pretty consistent. I didn't include his 2024 scores. It probably would pay. I probably would pay to look at those because it looks like he's going to go back to that midfield role. But I think when he had that that crazy breakout, was more on the halfback anyway. So Rankin, we're not looking at starting him. Sheasel, the North actually improve. You'd hope so, but given the little bit that I did see in the practice match, you'd probably think they're not. I guess everyone's got him, so who cares? Like, if we go down, we all go down together. I skipped Max Hall, actually. Super consistent there, so definitely worth another look at him this week because he was on fire in the first practice match. They had the big win. He kicked 4 goals. I mean, he's not going to do that every week, but still, I'm more interested to see if that role holds. So where he starts at half forward and he rolls up to the stoppage. So Buderick here, I mean, these are low averages, like 51 in wins and 41 in losses. So it's all about role with him, really. I'm not sold. I said it last night in the live stream. He could so easily just get switched between that lockdown and attacking role. So, I mean, it used to happen to him at the Suns, and the Dogs are kind of lacking that kind of thing in defense. So, I'm not going there unless I see something or hear something that's absolutely going to change that. But gut feel says no on Buderick. Skip Darcy. We know what we're going to get there. Justin McInerney. He's probably interesting if you are like me and you think that Sydney are going to challenge for the flag. He could do 90, and in that case, it's going to take him, judging on last year's top 8 averages in the forward line, that would take him very close to the top 8. So Yeah, he could even go better. Who knows? He seems to get better every year, and without being too specific, he seems to be getting more opportunity in terms of role at Sydney. Moving on, De Goey. I'll skip all these guys here. Phil Thorpe, obviously the Crom, they might not win as many, but his natural progression, like if you've seen him in the preseason, he's just an animal, and he's probably going to score better again, regardless of Crom winning and losing. Yeah, Daniels is injured again, so you probably wouldn't want to be starting him. He's a bit of a injury-prone player these days. So to go in 24, I think this is a red flag for sure. Like, well, if you think Collingwood might slide anyway, I think they will. But yeah, this is up to you. This is, if you're looking at picking him, these are the kind of decisions you've got to make. Where do you think the player's team is going to end up? How do you think they're going to go? It definitely plays into it. Skip Bailey. Cozzy Pickett. So it's not great looking at this. Not a good stat line there. He's 17 points better off in wins. 85, it's not going to cut it. And we don't expect Melbourne to win too many games, I think, this year. So that could be a big problem. But it looks like he's playing that pure mid-roll now. So I heard people say last year he would come up for the CBA, kind of like Shai Bolton. And then he'd just drift into the forward line. Like he wouldn't play that pure midfield role. I didn't see too much of the Melbourne practice game, but it looked like that's what he was doing now, was playing that pure mid-roll. So that's probably the more important thing here, is to see his role rather than how Melbourne go. Because, you know, if you're playing that inside mid-roll, it doesn't really matter so much on wins and losses. You're still going to be around the ball regardless. This is a huge one for me. Sorry. To Goey in 25, like there's not much to go on. He didn't play that many games, but yeah, again, he favours the wins big time. And if you want to look at that as a percentage, that's quite big. Like it's a low, they're low averages, but there's still like 18 points between them. So yeah, not good. I'd be right off to Goey. Yeah, so Petrarca's the big one for me. He's 20 points better off in wins, and the Suns have that easy draw to start the season. About probably like 8 weeks of. Is it 8 weeks? Something like that, of easier teams. Rao, we know, is not going to start the season. I don't know how long that's for, but probably the first few weeks at least, couple of weeks. So Petrarca should get that mid-roll. Yeah, if he does 110 across that, excellent. He's not leaving my team now unless something drastic happens. And then Fraser. So I wouldn't read too much into this for him either. It's again more about the role for him, like the others, and he's never consistently had that inside mid role, and it looks like he's actually about to get it. We know that Dogs mids, like they always score well, they always have good averages by the end of the year. He just needs to become one of them permanently, like needs to become one of the Dogs mids. Currently he's not, but yeah, looks like he's about to. So if he gets the role, I think pretty safe pick, really. Reminds me of the Callahan breakout about to happen. So Treloar, I didn't bother doing his 25. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. So look at his 24 here when he had that massive season. Yeah, those are great numbers. You know, even 104 in losses, even though it's 21 points less, like you'd still be happy with that. So it's not a question of scoring for him; it's just fitness. The calf injury he just got, though, apparently is not that bad, and he's a good chance to play the next practice game. So. Yeah, keep a big watch on him, I think, if he does play that game. But yeah, he's definitely, like, looking at 24 and 25, he's better off in wins like most players, even though he doesn't really play forward. So I mentioned before, yeah, Bolton, he's stuck in that role where he starts at the bounce when he does, and he'll drift forward and someone takes his spot. It doesn't look like that's going to change for him, but I've still heard a few people talk about picking him, particularly earlier in the preseason. I think Freo will win more games this year, but unless that role changes, I don't see him scoring too much more, to be honest. He did look good, though, in the State of Origin game. Well, actually, that's probably the problem with him. He did some really good stuff, but it doesn't really translate. Like, he's kind of in and out of the game and stuff. Like, he'll do some flashy stuff, and then he'll just disappear. Let me tell you, I owned him. Unfortunately, on the run home last year, I got into some trouble with about 10 weeks to go, 8 weeks to go, and decided to go the value option in Bolton. And oh my God, it was not a fun own at all. He's so up and down, and mostly down. So yeah, caution with that one. Rochelle seems to be a real hot topic at the moment. I don't think we're finding out much here about him, given that we'd be picking him based on the new role. Looks like he's going to probably be like a 40% midfield, 60% forward, but these numbers are almost completely off him as a forward when he was getting like 10% CBAs. Something I did notice though when I was researching this is his adjusted average was 83, but he's only priced at 68. So even if he is playing forward, which we know he's still going to get like some midfield time, like a fair chunk, at least there's a degree of safety built into the pick here as long as he's not injured. Like he got basically, he's 15 points underpriced, and that's even if he's just continuing the role he was already in, which it doesn't look like he will. So yeah, if you are going down that road, that's a really good sign there. Now, as I mentioned before, I've been bullish on Sydney's return to challenging for the flag. And yeah, Curnow, he could rocket back up if that happens. So he obviously had a down year, but so did Carlton. Now he's at the Swans. And he's averaged, he's done 97 in a season before, only a few years ago. And so if we look at what he averages and wins here, 90.3, even if he was to average 90, I think at the very least you'd make like 100k out of him, or you could at least keep him as like an F6 or, you know, even an F7 at the end of the year if you have that luxury. So yeah, it's not impossible. He's just awkwardly priced, but yeah, it wouldn't be the worst one. It's kind of high risk, high reward. The numbers here certainly point towards it being, I don't know, half decent and worth talking about. I'm kind of put off though. If you've ever owned him, that's also a roller coaster, a lot like Bolton. Although I think there's more upside with Curnow once he gets going. I'll skip Jeremy Cameron and Toby Green because I don't see too much changing. Green could get midfield time, but yeah, that's not really relevant here. Like these numbers here are him like 95% forward, so not applicable. So then we come to the last spot here, and you'll notice there's no name. So can anyone guess the mystery man at the bottom has got this ridiculous differential? So they average 100 last year, 133.7 in wins and 69.5 in losses. So that's a 64-point difference. Now, I want to say first that I'm not saying to pick this guy at all, obviously, but that win average has to be talked about at the very least. So yeah, if you want to know who it is, if you picked Harry Mackay, well done. Yeah, you're correct. Didn't think I'd be talking about Harry Mackay in this video, but you know, here he is. I found that crazy average, and yeah, I actually ended up picking him in draft, one of my draft teams, based on that alone. Like, who knows? That's where you can take some real punts. So his adjusted average is also 93, and he's priced at 86. So again, like Rochelle, there's a little bit of safety built into the pick there. And it's real high risk, real high reward stuff. I guess if you think Carlton are going to win a lot more this year, and I don't, but there's people out there that do, he could be a go for you, seriously. Like, I wouldn't be picking him, but yeah, if you are bullish on Carlton, then bloody hell, this looks like your man. They even started doing like 90, I think it was like low 90s, 95% TOG in the last 4 games as well, so I mean, it does worry me that Curnow's left, so he might be double man because there's not really much else in terms of bigs for Carlton up forward. Yeah, could be a problem, but again, he's not really like a serious pick, but I just had to mention that win average. He's only 1% owned, so obviously there's some super coaches out there that are either bullish on him or Carlton or both, or yeah, there's always that 1%. So I just found that one interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes big. I also wouldn't be surprised if he absolutely shits the bed and averages 75. So, yep, that's about it. I said I'd keep it short. It's probably one of the shortest videos I've done. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get another one out in the next couple of days. Can't guarantee anything, but yeah, be able to move on to some new subject now that the wins and loss averages. I think I've covered every position line now. So just quickly as well, another shout out to the people that tuned in for the live stream last night. It was pretty daunting doing that, but yeah, a good load of you did, and thanks for the support from everyone that shared on Twitter about that, and all those that have gotten me up above the 500 subs already. I cannot believe how quickly that happened. I went from like 450 to 520 or something in about 2 days. So big shout out to all of those people, especially our rookie coach. He has been a massive help in the last few days. So yep. And if you haven't already got your Swordplay Supercoach guide for 2026, yeah, do that now. There is so much good stuff in there, and I've said it before, any serious super coach should be reading that, I think. So yep, that about does it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.